GOP Chief Deputy Whip Peter Roskam from the great state of Illinois. Mr. Roskam, welcome back to the Kudlow Report. What is your response to President Obama's riff today?
Well, look, this is President Obama's sequester. This is something that President Obama and his White House advocated way back when to pay for the old debt ceiling deal. So let's make sure we're clear on where the responsibility for the sequester lies. Now, that being said, the president also in December, last time you and I talked, had a great deal about all these revenues that were coming in, and he created the impression on the part of the American public that all of our fiscal problems were going to go away. It was all going to be great if simply those tax rates went up. Well, the tax rates went up. The president now has $600 billion in new revenue. So this notion that somehow the remedy is to go back to the taxpayers and increase taxes is a complete non-starter. The White House has to get serious. These were just talking points that the president was pitching out today. We've seen no specifics that he's offered.
Why is it, Peter, that spending cuts are bad for the economy, but tax increases are good for the economy? In other words, parsing through the president, he's basically saying if you cut all this spending, all the $85 billion, it's about 2.5% of 3.8 trillion GDP. If you cut spending, that's bad for the economy. But if you increase tax receipts, that's good for the economy.
Well,
I don't understand that logic. I don't get that.
I'll see the illogic, and I'll raise it by saying this. This is how they approach it. So under the president's logic, there's no amount, there is no limit to which you can't spend if all this spending is good. And of course, it's an absurdity. And what it means is we march into a debt crisis. This White House has an intention to take us to $26 trillion in debt. That has an adverse impact on the businesses in my district in suburban Chicago. It will have an impact on interest rates over the long run, has an impact on small families and the ability to get car loans and all of these other things. So we've got to have our heads in the game, hold this president's feet to the fire as it relates to spending, and make sure that he's following through on the spending discipline that he celebrates.
So just to put a wrap on this, the position of the GOP in the House will be nothing, in effect. Just let the sequester go through in, 21 days, in less than a month.
Right. I mean, so the sequester is the president's sequester. It is current law, and if the president has about how to change it, we would love to work with the White House, but I'm telling you what's not going to happen. Taxes are not going to go up under House Republicans, and we're going to make sure that we are living within our means.
So March 1st, we should expect the $85 billion installment of the budget cuts. Is that fair? Will the GOP hold the line? Can we rely on that for some real spending for a change, real spending cuts for a change?
I think that is where all the initiative and where all the energy is going right now. This is President Obama's sequester. The president has failed up until now to come up and offer anything specific beyond talking points and press conferences as to how he proposes to turn the sequester off. And absent that, we're not able to make any change. We need those changes to come from the White House, and I frankly don't think they're forthcoming.
All right. Many thanks, House GOP Whip Peter Roskam. Appreciate the update. Quick